Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Harlequin here, and welcome to another episode of HarlequinCasts Company of Heroes. Today is going to be a very special episode once again as we move into Meet the Players number 2. And as you can see, Company of Heroes Meet the Player. That's right, this is going to go for all games here. Today, I am pleased to be here with Mr. Audemed, all the way from Riverside, California. Audemed, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing all right, and yourself?
I'm doing quite well indeed, and a lot of people have been asking me for more and more Panzer Elite games, and I keep kind of hinting at this on the forums and stuff, which is that there weren't Panzer Elite and Company of Heroes online, and that was my first Company of Heroes game. So I suck with Panzer Elite, and you, sir, on the other hand, are really good with Panzer Elite. So why not kick off a Panzer Elite discussion with you, kind of guiding it all? So I think people are going to enjoy that a little bit here. Yeah, so, you know, how long have you been playing Company of Heroes and all that sort of thing?
I first got Company of Heroes, I had a buddy buy it for me as a present for when I got deployed to Iraq, so I essentially got it on release day. And I kind of played it a bit offline there since I didn't have reliable internet access. And, you know, I kind of got back, you know, started doing other stuff, and I picked it up right after I got out of the Army and started playing online with opposing fronts. Caught the last month or two of 2.3, and I've been playing Panzer Elite extremely heavily ever since.
Nice. And for anybody who missed it, Mr. Audemed was also featured in the HarlequinCoHO Invitational Tournament, where you placed third, I believe. Unfortunately, the third place matches didn't get to happen because of the end of the Company of Heroes Online ended. But either way, yeah, I know you were fantastic at that game, so I'm happy to see you here, and I was very happy to see you instantly submitting replays and all that sort of thing. And I think that's pretty killer here. So let me zoom out here on the map just a little bit, turn on my taskbar, and take a look around. So obviously, in the north, we have you playing as Audemed 2. And by the way, I remember in Company of Heroes Online, you had like Audemed, Audemed 2, Audemed 3. Is that the same pattern here, or have you just stuck with Audemed 2?
No, what happened here was I made a Relic Online account way back in 2006 when I got the game, and I didn't happen to remember the password for it, so I had to disconnect my CD key from the username, and username was already taken, so I had to go with number 2.
Yeah, that's what I did actually. I stole back my Harlequin account from myself. I couldn't remember what email I had it with because I have all the different channel emails. So I got an email one day saying Harlequin has stolen your CD key back, and I was like, oh good, okay, I guess that's the email account I was hooked up with. Anyhow, on the southern side of the map, playing as the Allies, we have Mr. Yo, and I definitely cast somebody named Yo before in one of the Company of Heroes Online games. I cannot recall if he had 17 or 18 zeros in his name, so I'm not sure if this is the same guy or not. But he's clearly a highly skilled player. Let's go ahead and get this game started, and we can talk more about the strategy there. So we're here at the 3-second mark. Let's go ahead and get ready. If you're ready, sir.
I am.
Counting down in 3, 2, 1, click. And the Kettenkrad is off to the races here to cap the various victory points in a nice little happy fashion there. So, Mr. Audemed, what changes in your opening build order when you're playing an allied player like you are today versus, say, a British player?
For going against the Americans, typical is going to be 4 Panzer Grenadiers, sometimes a 5th, depending on field presence and how everything's going on out there. And then from there, you're going to go ahead and start building your tech buildings and going for whatever vehicles you deem appropriate for the current situation. Whereas versus Brits, you're going to want to get a second Kettenkrad, start capping as much of the field as you can, exploit his low early capping power, and try and get a vehicle as quickly as possible so he doesn't bleed your manpower dry.
Gotcha. So with the Brits, you go even more so for like a map control-oriented style of play, getting the Kettenkrad. And for the newbies out there like me, Kettenkrad has no defenses whatsoever. It is purely a capturing unit, even though it's a goofy little tracked motorcycle fellow there. So that's pretty neat there. So the Panzer Grenadiers that you build out of your headquarters are like the backbone of your infantry, right? So you know, you have like a variety of upgrades you get for them. Do you have a particular combination you're looking for early game, or in terms of upgrades rather?
Typically, you're going to be getting Panzer Grenadiers faster than you have the munitions to upgrade them. Mm-hmm. So you're going to usually want to get your first one with a Gewehr 43 just to give you the edge in that first engagement you run into. End game.
And that, just to ask about the rifle upgrade, and does that give just range, or does that increase damage as well?
It's the same damage per shot, but increases the rate of fire, and I believe it has a higher accuracy at long
Cool.
range. I'm not sure if it's got a higher accuracy or just more damage.
No, that's good. Sorry, what were you saying? Continue.
And here, this first engagement was actually really hairy because he brought everything he had on the field to combat me. And it was kind of an all-in for both of us. If he was able to come out on top of this, I was going to be extremely behind in delaying his capping. Then if I was able to do this, it slows his capping down a huge amount. And so it was very risky for either of us to stay on the field in that situation.
Yeah, you had nice repositioning there and grabbing cover and stuff. It was one of those kind of chicken moments, like he who blinks first loses, and it looked like you just kind of stood your ground and he ended up retreating.
Yeah, that was a very dangerous situation for both of us.
Yeah, I noticed that you don't have much of the map capped at this point at all. I mean, you grabbed the right-hand side, obviously, but you had to spend all that time fighting there, and he still has his squads kind of moving out there, so that's interesting. Right. Although you are decapping his fuel point right up front there, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was able, because of the manpower damage in the on those engineers, slows his extra rifle coming out a bit, and because I was able to force the retreat, gave me a moment to cap with my Panzer Grenadiers, which is something you usually don't want to do because of their extremely low capping speed.
Gotcha. And so, now, talking a little bit about strategies here. So, it sounds like, how do you like to go about? So, obviously, the strategies for the Panzer Elite, we've got the Scorched Earth, the Luftwaffe, and the Tank Busters. In 1 versus 1, what is your preferred strategy here?
Preferred is always Scorched Earth for me. It has a lot of abilities that can help try and force your opponent's hand by, with the roadblocks, denying pathing and territory. Roadblocks are the only constructible defense like that actually give you green cover as well as acting like a tank trap. So I can place green cover and wire whatever I need. It's got the booby traps to be manpower and attention sinks, the late game artillery, and so it's got a lot of things that can really help out. But I usually delay my doctrine choice until late in the game just to give me the availability of choosing another one should I need the utility provided by that. Tank destroyers and Luftwaffe both have very powerful abilities for dealing with heavy armor with the 88 and the Jagdpanther and such. And so I gotta leave that open just because I don't know exactly how the game's flowing.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha, that makes sense. So until you get some sort of a good signal from your opponent, again, that's another one of those kind of chicken scenarios there. No one wants to really dedicate to a company first because of that fact. Yeah, okay, so we see your first building going up on the ground right now. You've got the Kampfgruppe company. How is that going to be working into your build order exactly?
It's really there simply because it's a prerequisite for Tier 3 and Tier 4.
Okay.
And it's got more late game viability. I very rarely use anything other than the mortar half track out of Tier 1 and Tier 2. So I'll just build that because it also has the Kampfgruppe company upgrade for Panzerschrecks that is also needed for the late game Panther Tech. And it also has probably the most important upgrades for the Panzer Grenadiers themselves, which allows them to cap at an accelerated rate and spot mines with Fieldcraft, and advanced repairs, which means they can repair something in faster than half a decade.
Gotcha. Yeah, and now we see exactly like you were saying. You've got your Jaeger command going up right now as well. So you're obviously going for fast armored cars in this build order, I would have to assume then.
Yeah. The Jaeger command also has the advantage of unlocking the Sturmgewehr upgrade for the Panzer Grenadiers.
Gotcha, and that's that whatever, the MP-44 machine gun thing,
yes.
Right? Yeah, all right. And so here now, and I gotta say, just kind of throughout this early game, I'm continually surprised at how durable Panzer Grenadiers appear to be. They really seem like they stand up pretty well against riflemen, considering the numbers and whatnot.
Yeah, they can, as long as the rifles don't close in. The main weakness of Panzer Grenadiers is their vulnerability to fire. The soldier armor they have. Sometimes I've seen it where a single flamethrower comes in, just one gout of flame, and I've got 6 guys running around on fire just immediately. And in this sort of circumstance, like we have in the middle here, with green cover to green cover at medium range, those G43 squads will do a lot of damage.
Gotcha. Yeah, like I said, yeah, great use of cover there. You had perfect green cover, and you ended up staying for quite a while. Honestly, you had that flank perfectly until that second rifleman squad kind of flanked your flank, and then it looked like you very tactically bailed out on that, and that was probably a very smart move there. Now we have, oh, here's your armored car.